Summer can bring laughter waves, ice cream melting in your hands, and late nights filled with cicadas. But when it's over, what it often leaves behind is a bunch of stuff lying around that makes us uncomfortable. Dusty shoes, tight swimsuits, expired sunscreen, beachwear, and even things we bought because we thought we'd be a different version of ourselves this summer. If you're looking around your house and feeling overwhelmed by all this stuff, this video is for you. Hello, it's us again, and today I'm going to help you gently clear out 12 types of stuff that I usually let go of after summer, not to be neat and tidy, but to avoid starting September feeling like I'm always in the middle of cleaning. Without further ado, let's get started. Number 1 is expired items. There are things in our homes that we often don't pay attention to and can cause harm to you at any time. Those are expired products. And for me, those are usually bottles of sunscreen, insect repellent, or summer-only products that have been sitting under the sink all year long. One time, my friend applied old sunscreen to the whole family when they went to the beach. Unexpectedly, they still got a bad sunburn. Later, they discovered the cream had expired 2 years ago. Since then, I have not kept items that seem to still be usable because, in fact, I don't need another item that makes me feel falsely secure. For those who have small children, I understand the feeling of trying all kinds of creams and sprays to find the right one for their skin. But when you find something that works, let the tried items go. Sometimes cleaning out your closet isn't just about cleaning out stuff. It's about looking back and saying, yeah, I took really good care of my family this summer, and now I can safely let go of things I no longer need. Number 2 is swimwear. There are items that were once associated with a brilliant summer, but now there is only a loose zipper, a frayed seam, and a slightly tight feeling that I pretend not to notice. Not all swimwear needs to be thrown away. There are items that are still beautiful, still comfortable, still make me want to wear them again. But there are also those that just sit there because I don't want to admit that they no longer fit me. I used to keep a pink bikini like that. It was still pretty, but when I put it on, I felt like I was no longer me. The back was a bit tight, the shoulder straps kept slipping, and every time I wore it, I felt stiff. It's not because my appearance was a problem, but I had changed, and the feeling of comfort with myself had changed as well. It's hard to let go of an item that was once associated with beautiful memories. But I've learned that holding on to things that make you feel constricted is the gentlest way to burden yourself. When you get rid of your old swimsuits, you're not giving up summer. You're making room for the current version of yourself, the one who still wants to enjoy the sun, but in a lighter way. Number 3 is shoes and sandals. Are there any pairs of sandals that hurt your feet every time you put them on, but you still keep them because you regret it? Summer is when I move the most walk, go out, travel, and usually I just bring a random pair for convenience. Flip-flops with worn soles, broken sandals, dusty canvas shoes, they follow me through all my journeys. But when summer ends, it's time to ask again, which pair is really worth wearing next season? There are really beautiful pairs, but my heels hurt after 10 minutes. There are pairs that are extremely suitable for the beach, but now they just sit in the corner of the closet as a souvenir. No one mentions them. There are pairs that used to look really pretty in virtual outfit photos, but now only have a few scratches from beach pebbles. Keeping old shoes and sandals doesn't make me better prepared for next season. It just makes me feel like I'm always lacking choices, even though my shoe closet is full. Cleaning up summer shoes isn't just about tidying up. It's a way to remind yourself you deserve to walk more comfortably, starting with your own feet. Number 4, holiday decorations. Have you ever opened a box of holiday decorations and thought, why am I still keeping this? When it comes to cleaning up, many people have the habit of waiting until after the holiday to sort through them. But in fact, the most reasonable time to get rid of them is before the holiday arrives, because you are looking at them with a more sober eye not yet swept away by the festive atmosphere. A wreath with a fallen bow, a Halloween costume you no longer like, tree decorations that are peeling or just don't match the style of decoration you are aiming for this year. The problem is that we often attach memories to things. We hung this one last year. But ask yourself, from that year until now, have you really wanted to use it again? Cleaning up decorations early helps you be more proactive, more relaxed, and avoids the feeling of dragging the past out and putting it back in the box just because you regret it. Number 5 is summer toys. There are toys that last only a few weeks, but end up in my house all year. I'm talking about things like water guns with dead batteries, deflated swimming rings, soft inflatable balls, or sand toys that I'm not sure are made of sand or dried out dirt. Many of these have been broken since early summer, but because I'm busy and a little regretful, I just push them to the back of the box to clean up later. One time, I even kept the box of a toy as if one day I could put it together, fix it, or give it away. But that day never came. One thing I've learned is that broken toys don't make me happier. They just take up space in my living space with an item that no longer serves anyone. When you clear out, the playtime is over, but the props are still there, stuff. You're also making room for new joy this time, taking up less space. In the next video, I'll share how I'm cleaning, organizing, and refreshing my living space in 2025, especially if you live in a small, cramped, and cluttered home. If you're interested, subscribe now so you don't miss out. Number 6 is clothes. There are clothes that are not broken, not ugly, not out of fashion. But I just pass them by, never choosing to wear them again. We often keep clothes for many reasons. Maybe I'll wear them next season. Still new. Maybe I'll fit in them after losing weight. Or simply, I feel sorry for the money. I used to have a very pretty maxi dress to wear to the beach, but every time I wear it, I feel like it doesn't suit me anymore. Not because the shape is bad or the color is out of fashion, but because I've changed. I've tried other styles and don't like them anymore. And so I let it sit in the closet season after season, not wearing it, not throwing it away. It's a kind of silent clutter. It doesn't look messy, but it makes me feel unclear. When you let go of an item that used to suit you, you're not letting go of the old version of yourself. You're just giving your current self more truly correct choices. Number 7 is food. There are things in the fridge not because they're delicious, but because no one has dared to be the first to throw them away. The fridge and kitchen cabinets after summer are like a box of culinary memories. There's the electrolyte drink from the time your child had a stomachache. There's the jar of cream cheese everyone tried once and then left. There's the bottle of barbecue sauce you bought because you saw it on TikTok, but no one in the family liked it. And then there are those spice jars only used once for the last summer barbecue, and then you don't know what to do with it. I found myself opening the fridge and closing it again. I know there's something I need to throw away, but I'm afraid to touch it because I don't want to spend money, because it might still be useful, because I don't want to be seen as wasteful. But the truth is, keeping food that no one wants to eat doesn't make you frugal. It just makes you feel guilty every time you open the fridge. When you let go of food that has outlived its usefulness, you're clearing not just the food, but also the feeling that you made a mistake buying that so you can move forward with a lighter mindset. Number 8 is the imaginary version of summer items. There are things you buy not because you need them, but because you imagine a certain version of yourself would need them. A bolder than usual swimsuit, an ice cream mold, a set of pastel-colored cocktail glasses because you think you'll have a mini beach bar on your balcony this summer, or a very fashionable wide-brimmed hat that you never wear outside the house. They're not wrong. They represent a very cute image in my head. I'm free, I'm refreshed, I'm chill, I'm like those free women in 3-minute aesthetic videos. But the reality is, maybe this summer, you're busy taking care of your kids, going to work, braving the heat just to get to the market on time, or simply not in the mood. And those things are still there brand new. Keeping them doesn't bring you closer to that summer energy version. Instead, it makes you feel like you failed at being the girl of the summer. When you clear out the purchases for the person you thought you would be, you're being kind to the person you actually are. And that's enough. Number 9 is broken items. There are things that no longer work, no longer want to use, but are still there because we haven't had time to throw them away. Garages, stairwells, backyards, balconies, sheds. These less visited areas are often where broken items gather: leaky watering cans, rusty garden tools, moldy containers, pesticide bottles that expired last summer. We know we don't need them anymore. We've seen them a few times, but we let them go because they're not urgent, or because we don't know how to properly dispose of them. And then month after month, those leave it for later items start to take up space, not just physical space, but mental space as well. When you spend 15 minutes cleaning out a corner you've been ignoring, you're not just getting back space, you're also gently reminding yourself that you can still rearrange things even if it's in a very small place. Number 10 is makeshift bags or backpacks. These are the bags we buy in a hurry before a trip to carry a towel for the beach snacks for a road trip or the kids to summer camp. They're often cheap, made of thin fabric, or simply not durable, but they serve a temporary purpose, so we keep them. The problem is, by the time summer is over, they're no longer a part of our routine. The handles start to fray, the fabric stretches, and the zippers keep getting stuck. But instead of throwing them away, we think it'll still work, or maybe I'll need this again. So we stuff them in the closet. But the truth is, the bags don't open smoothly, don't hold much, or don't feel comfortable packing them. Every time you need a bag in a pinch, you'll look at the almost okay ones and still feel like you don't have a good choice. Letting them go isn't a waste. It's making room for bags that actually support your daily life. Because your future errands trips and busy mornings deserve tools that do better than you. Number 11 is travel souvenirs, the small keepsakes we pick up during summer trips: keychains, mugs with cute slogans, handmade bracelets, postcards, mini photo frames, little figurines carved from wood or stone. When we buy them, we imagine they'll remind us of a special moment, that beachside cafe, that mountain hike, that sleepy town we fell in love with for a weekend. But many of them end up living quietly in a drawer or on a shelf, gathering dust. You don't use them, you don't display them. Sometimes you don't even remember exactly where they came from. But you feel a tiny pang of guilt when you think about letting them go. Here's something I've learned: a real memory doesn't need an object to stay alive. And a joyful memory doesn't disappear just because the trinket connected to it is no longer in your home. You're not erasing the trip. You're just freeing up space, physical and emotional, so the moments that do matter can shine more clearly. When you gently let go of the souvenirs that don't truly spark anything in you, you also clear the emotional clutter that tells you you have to keep everything. And that creates room to actually enjoy the memories you do want to carry forward. Number 12 is the unfinished schedule or board. These aren't objects you can hold, but they take up just as much mental space. They're the plans you made at the start of summer, the list of books you were going to read, the morning routines you wanted to build, the family activities you swore you'd make happen. The ambitious idea of decluttering every closet before September. And then, life happened. Some things got done, some didn't. Maybe you read one book instead of 10. Maybe the kids spent more time on screens than in the backyard. Maybe the shed is still just the shed. Now, those plans are sitting somewhere in a notebook, an app, a sticky note on the fridge. Or worse, just looping in your head, reminding you of what you didn't do. But here's the truth. Goals are meant to guide, not punish. They're not contracts. And you don't need to finish every list to prove that you're disciplined, productive, or doing summer right. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do for yourself is to say, that version of summer made sense back then, although it's okay that things changed. You have the right to delete goals that are no longer valid. You don't have to complete an old plan just to feel good enough. Deleting unfinished things isn't giving up. It's giving yourself permission to start over with more kindness and realism. So here are the 12 things I let go of at the end of summer, not to turn my house into a showroom, but to make sure that every time I look around, I don't see things that have outlived their usefulness. Cleaning doesn't always have to be big. Sometimes it's just about collecting a few old items, folding up a memory, or taking the time to open a box that hasn't been touched in a while. And if you found any part of this video to be relevant to you, Leave a comment below, I'd love to hear more from you. And if you're ready for a real clean out, not just a clean out, but a whole lot lighter, then the next video is for you. I'll share how I'm cleaning, organizing, and refreshing my living space in 2025, especially if you live in a small, cramped, cluttered home. Subscribe now so you don't miss out. See you in the next video.